Alright guys, Criminal here, back to another MK1 tier list style video. In this one I'm gonna be ranking all characters and cameo fighters included, from the most toxic to the least toxic. It's in a descending order this one, like the top of the tier list, the top of the food chain are those that need to die first. I put them at the top because it's like stores of a building. I want them to jump from the highest point possible to guarantee death. So yeah, fuck them. Just it's that simple. I hate these characters. The characters that go there, there won't be many. I don't really hate that many characters. So yeah, let's just get started. Next, first of all, we have one of the goats, Striker, getting the love tier. I love this cameo. Probably my favorite in the entire game. A lot of fun to use. Very good for mix-ups. It can enhance most characters because it's very, very good. A lot of fun to use in combos because it actually requires a brain, unlike many cameos in this game. It's just a lot of fun. I don't really know what else to say about him. He's a lot of fun. He's not toxic in the slightest. I don't really struggle with him. I just love this cameo. I really do. And the fact that he just starts blasting them when this fatal blow really makes me laugh. So yeah, I love him. Next up we have Sub-Zero. I mean, to be honest, I'll put him in neutral, but because Reiko Sub-Zero is a combo that exists, I'll put him in fuck you because Reiko players are zoners like no one has ever seen in their lives, and Sub-Zero is a piece of shit when he's teamed with zoners because they just do the ice armor and then they just zone you out. I really enjoy using this cameo, but just the fact that this combo exists put him in the FU tier. Actually, I'll put him in neutral tier, but very close to FU tier. Uh, yeah, I'll put him in neutral because he helps me deal with zoners and I hate zoners. So yeah, he's in neutral tier. I really love using the cameo. I don't really like fighting against them though. So yeah, Cyrax, fuck you. I don't really need to specify why. I use him with pretty much every character of how busted he is when I want to win, but he is the most toxic character, including characters, including cameos. He's the most toxic thing in this game. 100%. He makes it so you can actually die without even getting open up once. He is extremely busted in all ways possible. He is very annoying to deal because of the combos he gives from grabs for no apparent reason. He is just a piece of shit, to be honest. I really hate this cameo in all ways. Fuck him. As far as I'm concerned, nerf him to the ground. I don't want to see his face ever again. I do love his fatality, though. That's the only thing I like about this cameo. Blowing up the entire earth is cool. So yeah, fuck you, Cyrax. I don't really have anything else to say, to be honest. I really don't. I actually don't really like using him as well. I mean, he doesn't really give you the long combos. He just makes Baraka extremely busted, even more than he already is. So, I mean, if I want to win a match, I will pick Cyrax because I don't want to lose. But I don't really find them fun to use. And obviously, we all know how fucking peasant he is to fight. So yeah, fuck you, Cyrax. Stay in die tier. Kano. I'll put him in. Honestly, I love Kano. I love his animation. I love his moves, but he's kind of ass. So I really don't enjoy using him that much, but it's just not very good. So I find myself many times when using Kano, I'll just start cursing him, like in the middle of the match, like, fuck you, Kano, why did you whiff? Shit like that, because he's kind of ass, to be honest. He needs buffs, for sure. The knives should be mid. I don't understand why the knives aren't mid. So yeah, Cyrax's swords jail from low attacks, but the knives, no, the knives will whiff. So yeah, fuck Cyrax. I mean, that's pretty much the standpoint. Giras, I love you. Giras, there's not much you can hate about this character. Just fighting him, I don't really mind it, to be honest. I don't feel like he's toxic. I feel like he's a fair and honest character. Really, he is a very strong character. Don't get me wrong. He's 100% top 10 in my opinion, like top 6. But actually, top 7 to 8, I'd put him. I do think there's a better character than him at this point. But I might need to make an updated tier list. To be honest. Actually, no need for that. My view didn't change very much. After the patches, I will make an updated tier list. Like from the very first day the patch drops. After we understand changes that were made. Oh, I didn't even notice. There are DLC characters here. I'll just rank them based on my predictions of how toxic they'll be actually, because I can really envision how they're gonna play. Except for Peacemaker, because I don't really know about the character, except for the fact I can't see him. Like, where is it? Okay. Regardless of Peacemaker was just not here for some reason. They made him invisible. But Giras, I love Giras. I don't really hate fighting him against him that much. He's very fun to use. He has the most fun combo in the entire game with the Sand Clone. Easily the most fun combo to do in the game and very satisfying because of how hard it is to execute. I find it very satisfying to hit a combo that is difficult to do. So yeah, I love him. Scorpion, fuck you. I don't like this character. I really find him boring to use. To be honest, he really just does nothing. He's very basic. He has pretty much nothing complex about him whatsoever. His whole shtick relies on Cyrax. I mean, The fact that Cyrex is the best partner, actually, I can't really rank it. Everybody will go into die tier that way because Cyrex is the best for everybody. But I don't really like this character. When I'm fighting Scorpions, it's just a battle of attrition pretty much. He's just running away from me, trying to fish for spears, doing that trash cheap damage setups with Cyrex that doesn't even work most of the time. So yeah, it's just very toxic to play against and just actually not very. It's pretty toxic to play against. I'm kind of neutral with it, but just how boring he is to use. I'm putting him in FU tier. I love the character as a character, like lore-wise, Scorpion, Kuai Liang, I love him, but I fucking hate fighting against him. I hate him gameplay-wise. I feel like him and Sub-Zero should have been the two most fun characters to use, but they're just not. So that's kind of disappointing. Next up, we have Jax. Go there. The ground pound is a bit of a bitch to deal with, and just how much damage he gives to Raiden makes me have PTSD of this character every time I'm fighting Raiden. The damage he leads to is insane. The ground pound leads to some of the most busted ass setups in the entire game, so yeah, I'm pretty content to put him in an FU tier. I don't really hate him that much, but he's not neutral for me. I do hate him. There is a bit of hatred. Shang Tsung, to be honest, I'm contemplating a hero here. Everybody zones with this guy, but I do find him. Actually, I put him here. Just because of the ground skull combos, man. Looping that shit 12 times is one of the most satisfying things in the entire game. It breaks my thumb, it tears off my skin, but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I remember getting it in an online match once, man. Wow, I was grinning like a child. It was just so much fun to get. So yeah, I love Shang Tsung to be honest. I don't really have issues with him. He's kind of cancer to deal with, to be honest. Like the only other thing why might actually I feel like the fun of his combo with the ground skulls just counteracts the toxicity of fighting against him because he's a very powerful zoner, and you know what that means. Zoning equals toxic. It's pretty much a well-known fighting game equation. So yeah, Shang Tsung, I really love. I really enjoy using him. I love how he's much of a skill-based character because of the transformation. Like the morph is very, very powerful. The damage boost he gets for the character is insane. Like if you're fighting someone like Kenshi, let's say, or fighting someone like Baraka, Jesus, the damage you can do. So yeah, he actually has ways to actually play around the top tiers by just becoming the top tiers. So yeah, he is actually a very good character. I mean, there is not much I love this character. I don't feel he's weak at all. Like I feel like he's pretty much mid tier just because of the skill requirements of him. But in the right hands, this guy can be a menace. So I do like this character, especially how skill based he is, and how his best combos actually require some pretty good execution. So he is a pretty good character. I love him. Sindel, I put her in neutral to be honest. I like this character. I don't really find fighting against her very toxic, but I dislike how bad the cameo stealing is, to be honest. Like I'm just kind of disappointed. Disappointed equals toxicity in my book, to be honest. Just disappointment is the same thing as toxicity. Just I'm really disappointed at how the cameo stealing is not a major part of this character's gameplay. Like for some reason they just made it so cameo moves can't really be chained together. I was hoping they'd make it so like the animation of the cameo fucking off from the screen, as in, like, you freeze them with Sub-Zero, it does this pose and then it disappears. I was expecting they just make it so you freeze them and it just disappears instantly, without poses, without any shit. So you can go into another cameo instantly to set up some nasty shit with Jax, but unfortunately you can't. And the cameo still is just pretty much impossible to do in real matches. That's the main issue I have with it. Like, getting this in a real match, you aren't getting this, let's be real. It's just, you aren't, it just sucks. So yeah, when this shit get buffs, I would love it. But right now, I do find this character pretty fun to use though, and I don't really have any issues with her. So she's kind of neutral. I don't really have issues with her. Lee May, is she an FU tier? She is extremely basic, but I don't find her game plan that toxic. I mean, she is kind of neutral for me. She's the definition of neutral. She is very basic as a character. I don't really enjoy using her that much because she's just not very complex. I like more complex characters, and she doesn't really have much. She's just your basic character. She's pretty decent though. She's not trash or something, and she's not cancer. So yeah, she's pretty decent. I don't really mind this character. Smoke, I'll put him here if I can move. There we go. Fucking hell. Smoke, I don't have issues with this character. Fighting against him, I don't find it toxic in the slightest. When a smoke, the best way for me to gauge shit with this thing, like just when the player using the character, or I am using the character, when I get the cool shit, when the smoke gets it in the match, what's your reaction? If your reaction to a character getting their cool shit, like their best stuff, if the reaction is fuck you, I hate this character, or it's so broken, it's so annoying, it's shit like that, then yeah, this character goes like to the FU, to the die tier. That's where they go. But if my reaction is like, man, that was cool as hell, that was clean, shit like that, nah, the character just ain't toxic, to be honest. That just means the character The character did something that was impressive, so I love it. Smoke has some unique tools. I love the invisibility shenanigans. I really dislike how most players play as him because I mean they don't really play him well. To be honest, most players just spam teleports, which is very ideal. At least most of the idiots I run into. But when you run into the occasional very good smoke, he is a lot of fun to deal with. I mean, it's a lot of fun to actually watch. It's not very fun to fight against the guy because he's just very good when the opponent knows what they're doing. So yeah, Sub Zero, I put them here. I'll be honest, I don't really have issues with this character, but just because of how shit he is, I find it toxic to be honest. Look, I feel pity for my opponent when they're using Sub-Zero just because of how little damage this character is doing. Like, you have to work so hard with this guy to break 30%. Meanwhile, I can be using Baraka and break 30% for doing a grab. Dude, it's not okay. It really is not. You feel bad for the player, you feel bad for yourself. You think, why the fuck did I ever pick this character when going online? Just the character is very trash. That's the main reason I have him here. And the clone. I fucking hate the clone. I always hated the clone. As far as I'm concerned, don't ever return. As iconic as the movie is and as cool it is, I really hate how it is dealt with game because of how good it makes his keep away. I just dislike that. So yeah, I have him there. Tanya. I'll put actually after seeing some tech with Goro, I'll put her there. Because I really dislike her armored wake up, to be honest. Like that's the main reason I hate this character. Just when you are crouch blocking she does that kick bullshit, she actually just runs away to full screen. She like whiffs this from the second kick onward and she just runs away. And if they block you, you just summon Go. But I mean, that's actually more of a universal flaw. Like, that you can stay safe after the armored wake ups. Yeah, that's not a reason to put Tanya in F tier. She's kind of neutral for me, actually. She's pretty fun to use. She's not that bad to fight against. I mean, she's not very fun, but she's not toxic either. So, she's neutral for me. Nitara. I'll be honest, I find this character extremely cool. I really find her extremely cool. When a Nitara player does some cool shit with her mobility, man, I'm just impressed. I don't really have any issues. So yeah, I just love her. To be honest, I don't really have issues with her. The only issues I have with her are actually her normals. They're complete dog shit. And for some reason, they gave her the lowest HP in the game with 900 HP. You know who should have 900 HP? This guy, Baraka. But he doesn't have it. Even though he's by far the best character in the game. But she, for some reason, who is not even that good, like she's pretty much bottom 5, she has 900 HP for no reason. So yeah, I don't understand why, but she is a very cool character. I can't deny that. She has some fun combos as well. She's just a very cool character. Her mobility is a lot of fun to do, like her mobility shenanigans. So yeah, I love her. To be honest, I don't really have issues with the character. Reiko, do I even need to explain it? I mean, actually, let me just do something for a second. Not that. Delete the code. Delete. There we go. Let me just. Oh, it deleted Cyrax. Oh, god damn it, it didn't. Let me just. There we go. D-I-E. And what do I want to dub the Reiko tier? Just Reiko tier? I mean, I don't know. Die in pain? No, it's too long. Fuck it, Reiko. Let's dub it the Reiko tier. I mean, pretty easy. Reiko, fuck you, go there. Just I hate everything about this character. I don't even need to. I don't even ever way to specify this. The character is designed poorly beyond belief. He probably has the worst design in the entire game as a character. They made the guy like the grappler archetype character. I think at least they meant to by giving him probably the best command grab I've ever seen in any fighting game because of Odarius. Granted, it's not very good without Darius. I mean, 2 bars for 22% isn't that good, to be honest. I don't really find it that powerful. But the fact that it's comboable and it's is optimal starter annoys the living shit out of me. Comboable, not very much. Optimal starter, yeah, I fucking despise how that works. Then he has the most annoying and toxic and broken projectile in the entire game, so just people just run away. Like the Komenga being toxic isn't even an issue most of the time because the Reiko doesn't get close to you enough to actually do it. They just run away and throw fucking shurikens as if they were a fucking ninja turtle. So yeah, I hate this character. Screw him. He has a goofy app picture. I don't know why, but his picture is goofy as hell. So really fitting for this character. I hate him. Oh, what the? There is two Reikos. Why not? Like, fuck you twice. Fuck this character twice. I mean, fuck him. As far as I'm concerned, take him out of the roster. Really, if you don't want to change him, take him out. I don't mind. Fuck this character. Ermac. Now, with the DLC, guys, I'm just gonna predict how bad I think they will be, like how toxic. So, Ermac, I actually think he might have some really cool combos with the lift. But if he's anything like his story mode counterpart, I'd put him in fuck you tier because his story mode counterpart was just spamming the shit out of Teleslam because it was completely busted. So I don't think it will be the same, but I do think the Teleslam will be the exact same thing. So I don't really like. I hate dealing with this shit in story mode, and I'm sure I will hate dealing with this shit in online. But I can't wait to actually see what they'll do with Ermac. But just that design is actually enough for me to put him in FU. I don't really like his design to be honest. Like his face, kind of weird. But actually, nah, that's King Gerald. That's my man. Gerald is actually back for some reason. Not for some reason. He's actually back for a change. He's back. He actually banked Tim Dillon. She's a backstabbing bitch. So yeah, I love him. Actually, get here. Actually, I love Gerald. I wanted to see him actually in the game for a while. Imagine they actually make Ermac Gerald. Just it's King Gerald. It's, if they give him a skin where it's King Gerald doing the voice lines and shit like that, god damn, I'm buying that shit. I'm paying money for that. I'm opening up my wallet for a King Gerald skin like with unique voice lines against Sinde, like he says, "I'm sorry, my love," bullshit like that, man. I wanted to see him playable for so long. I take Ermac with Gerald Soul being in the driver's seat. I don't mind it. Homelander. Unfortunately, I do think he will be in this tier. Actually, die tier. I mean, it's Homelander. It'll be really cool, but gameplay standpoint, I do think he'll be in die tier. I feel like it's just gonna be a zoner. I don't really know how they're gonna do anything different with him. I think it'll just be like RoboCop from MK11. Like it just has no unique things about him whatsoever. Just he'll throw eye laser. That's my fear for this character. I really hope I'm wrong and he's like here. Like I'll have to make a separate tier down here for even more beloved characters and call it the Homelander tier and put him there. But no, I don't think he will be. So actually, Die tier is not worth it. Die tier is Core and Cyrax. Core and Cyrax is not Homelander level. Just the zoner, like actually, if he's, I'll tell you what, if he's just a zoner on the level of Reiko, yeah, he is definitely in Die tier. But actually, not on the level of keep Reiko aside. If you played Injustice, you probably know like that shot, or as the community likes to call him, that shit. You can really figure out where it's coming from. Extremely busted zoner. Deathstroke was the same thing. I mean, MK11 Jade was the same thing. If he's on this level, yeah, die tier for sure. I hated all of these characters. Oh, we have. Here comes a mighty challenger. Screw you. Fuck you. I hate you. Actually, let me just change something here. She is worse than Reiko. She is worse than everybody. She is the piece of shit of all pieces of shit. Fuck this character. Honestly, man, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just so tired of this character. I don't even want to see her get nerfed or get buffed or anything. I don't want to see her getting revamped. I want to see her out of the game. Remove her from the roster and give me someone else. I don't want this character. I just completely despise her. In the story, I actually love the character. I love her design. I love that my boy Reptile scored the W, but dude, just fuck off. I hate this character. Every time I fight her, I lose a year of my life. I'm not joking. I just hate this character. I lose my sanity every time I fight against her. She is completely busted. She is very, very annoying to use. She's very boring to use. So she's pretty much as toxic as it gets when it comes to fighting against her. She's just running away and throwing forward twos at you. Her projectile is busted. She is just extremely powerful for no reason. She has no risk tied to her whatsoever. She's Reiko, toxicity wise, on steroids. Fuck you, Ashra. She's the only one there, by the way. There will not be any other character in Ashra tier. Ashra tier is reserved for Ashra and Ashra alone. So yeah. Next up we have Havoc. I'm neutral. I don't really mind this character. Using him, I don't really find it that fun to be honest. It's not my cup of tea of character, but I do think it's pretty cool. I love his animations. I don't really find fighting against him that toxic. So yeah, it's just in the neutral tier. Kitana, I find her kind of fun to use, to be honest. I don't think she's very boring to use. I do think she needs some changes. Of course, she needs buffs. Both her, Shao, and Sub-Zero desperately needs buffs right now. But Kitana, I don't really, to be honest, I haven't fought a single Kitana since the game released. As sad as it is, I didn't fight her once, I'm pretty sure. Maybe once, maybe it was a beginner, like in random combatants. It wasn't really, I haven't fought her since the pre-order beta, pretty much. She's not commonly picked. She's pretty ass, to be honest. I do like how the character plays, but I don't like how bad she is. To be honest, just that is also something I need to keep in mind for this tier list. Like I don't like how bad she is. I don't find her toxic at all, but I just don't fight against her enough to actually rank her. So I'm putting it at neutral. Melina, fuck you. Melina, Actually, Cyrax tier. Yeah, Cyrax tier. I mean, in my opinion, I just hate fighting against this character. Melina's just spam that fucking annoying ass cartwheel and ball rolls in neutral. It's not even that good of a tactic. It's just fucking annoying me. To be honest, I hate fighting against this shit. And I don't know if it's an issue you're dealing with as well, but my game is mad laggy. So every time I fight a Melina, the ball roll actually works because there is a lot of delay. So yeah, I fucking hate Melina. Johnny, I absolutely love this character. Using him, he's one of the more fun characters in the game. So if that was the only thing I need to keep in mind, I'll put him in love him tier, like here. But man, just how busted he is and his annoying ass broken frame that just takes him away from here, just slightly. So I put him here. I hate fighting against this guy just because of how good he is. I mean, it's very obvious. But when Johnny does a cool combo or something like that, I will be impressed. So that puts him out of the fuck you tier. I'm pretty sure. Next up, we have Kung Lao. Fuck you. I hate you. I mean, using him is actually pretty fun. I do find his animations really cool. He has really good flow for his moves. He's a lot of fun to actually use, but he is annoying for sure. He has the most busted armor wake up in the entire game. It's for some reason safe on block, which shouldn't be the case for any character. Most people just run away using dive kicks, to be honest. It's just that's the people I find, unfortunately. I don't really find good players. That's just how it is for me. I don't really find good players, and when I do find good players, the game usually is just mad laggy. So yeah, I don't really have much luck with this shit. I once ran into a good Kung Lao though, and he bullied the shit out of me, stomped me. So Kung Lao has some cool stuff, but I don't really like the character. It's not Melina level of toxic, but I don't really enjoy fighting against him just because of how easily spammable that fucking armor wake up is. Next up, we have Omni Man. I'll put him here. I already know it, man. He is gonna be brutal as shit, man. His gameplay is gonna be the most brutal thing of all time. Yeah, I can't wait to see Omni Man, to be honest. Omni Man, Homelander, is scared that I am, is just gonna be a fucking zoner. Omni Man, I have a lot of hopes for him. Next up, we have, oh man. Do I need to make a separate tier again? Yeah, I have to. I mean, I don't think it's even a question for me. Oh shit, I need to increase the whatchamacallit. Do I have the ability to increase the region? Ah, never mind, I can't. So I won't add another tier. Let me just delete it because it's actually no, never mind. I'll just rank Shujinko later. That's the best way to go about it. For now, I'll delete this tier. I rank Shujinko later because it just hides the characters down there. So next up we have Kung Lao. No explanation necessary. If you want one, Basso. There you go. I hate this cameo. Moving on. Sarina, fuck you. Not very good to be honest. I just don't really like this cameo. I hate how all of her moves are shit except for one. And I just hate how good she is for combos. I mean, it is kind of fun, but just her combos are very boring because you don't really have any complexity or any cool saucy stuff with her combos. You just do a string, Sarina, a string, Sarina, and then just do the combo you regularly do. So the way she extends combos isn't even that cool or something. It's just fucking boring shit. So yeah, I don't really like this cameo, and she's annoying to deal with because the knives are just busted. So yeah, moving on. Sector. I don't have issues with you. Go there. I love Sector, to be honest. I don't really have issues with his cameo. His missiles are really cool. I love his animations. I love pretty much everything about him. I don't really have issues with his cameo. Frost, I'll put you here. She's neutral for me. I don't really have issues with her. Again, she's just the same as Sub-Zero for me. Like, I don't really have trouble against her. I don't really. I just like the cameo. And I love her design. Like, I love seeing her as a human. And she kind of bad, though. Is that Frost? Man, that meme is never gonna go old, man. It's never gonna go old. Beardsley just killed himself with that one. So yeah, Rain, love him. There's not much else to say. Love him. I just love him. Nah, Striker is on top. Striker is at the top of the food chain. Striker is the GOAT. And Giras is above him. But yeah, just I love Rain, to be honest. I don't find Rain toxic or anything like that. It's just a lot of fun to use. It's a lot of fun to fight against actually because when a Rain player does something cool, you just have to respect it. Just because of how complex this character is. I really love him. Could use some speed buffs. Yeah, he is a bit too slow, but he's not a bad character by any means. People are saying he's sub-zero level. He is not, definitely not. He's like top 15, top 10 level. To be honest, he's actually pretty good. Top 10, not. Actually, he's not top 10, but he is between that 10 to 15, 10 to 13 range. That's where he's sitting. He's pretty good. He's fun to use. He's fun to fight against. I don't really have issues with him. General Shao. What is clickable? I can't see anything. Do you see anything? I can drag something here. You can't see him. Never mind. Where will Peacemaker go? Yeah, that's what the shitty John Cena joke. Where will Peacemaker go? To be honest, I don't really know the character too well, but where will he go? I actually have good hopes for him, to be honest. I really do have good hopes. It's just a hunch, to be honest. I don't really know how the character will fight because I really don't know much about Peacemaker, but I do have some pretty good hopes for him just because he's American, so I'm expecting him to shoot people a lot. Like, just because of the eagle we heard in the trailer. Like, that just gives me hope he's gonna be guns blazing just like Striker. So, unless he's just an annoying toxic ass zoner, which I really hope that you don't do, man. Zoners, you can get away with putting in them in the base roster, but the character is just strictly a zoner, being a DLC character is just completely disappointing. So yeah, I really hope they don't make Homelander just a strict zoner. I want him to have some cool stuff. Both him and Omni-Man will probably have air dashes, let's be real, and probably Ermac as well. He'll probably also have an air dash. Not Nitara like air dash, but just a regular air dash like Superman in Injustice air dash. So yeah, Peacemaker, I have a lot of hopes for him to be honest. I feel like it could be really cool. It gives me like mad Injustice 2 Red Hood vibes, and I really liked Red Hood in Injustice 2. So yeah, hopefully it's just like this character. I really liked Red Hood. Next up we have General Shao. I love you. Just please buff my man. Buff him for the love of God. He was my main in 11. He'll probably end up being my main in MK1. I love the character. I just love everything about him. I love how he can just punch the living shit out of you without his axe because he doesn't need it because he's a powerhouse. I just hate how in every single game he's been in, playable. Granted, it is only been two games, the two recent ones, but I mean, at least for the NRS era. But I just despise how this character is pretty much the big bad boss of the end of the series. Like, other than Onaga, who's a bigger boss than this guy? Nobody. Like, Shinnok, do me a favor, that guy's a pushover. General Shao Kahn would fold him. Shao Kahn is definitely folding Shinnok. If you disagree, you're tripping. I'm sure Shao Kahn would fold Shinnok. Like, I don't even mind. Shinnok just never struck me as more of a menacing enemy like Shao Kahn is. Next up, we have Quan Chi. Just buff my man, please. Just buff the guy. Make him top tier. Make him number one. Make him ridiculously busted better than the rest of the roster together. He deserves it for one time, man. 2 games in a row, you've done him dirty. 2 games. Next up, we have Quan Chi. Just from my experience with him in MKX and the bullshit armor portals, I'm gonna put him here. Like, I do expect him to be pretty fucking toxic to play against. I do think like he could have some pretty nice souls though. Quan Chi always had some really cool stuff. So yeah, he's not in die tier, but he's not quite neutral for me. I really feel like I'm gonna hate the guy, unfortunately. Liu Kang. Liu Kang, I mean, go neutral. I don't really have issues with the character. I just don't really enjoy fighting him, and I really actually dislike fighting him. So yeah, he's going there. So to be honest, I really like the character. Really like the character. If I make a character glow up tier list, which I probably will, eventually like a glow up tier list of all characters, like his characters, if I make that, I will easily put Liu Kang like in top tier. But I really like his character, but he's just completely annoying to deal with in this game. He's pretty boring to use, to be honest. He's kind of toxic as a character because of just how fucking good of a zoner he is. People just zone with him. Understandably so. I mean, he's the best zoner in the game, maybe. He's one of the better zoners in this game, maybe except for Reiko. So yeah, Liu Kang is very good. Very good character. Really cool animations. Maybe the most beautiful character in the entire game when talking about strictly animations. They cooked with the animations for sure, man. His effects are beautiful. Like the fire effects, I love them. In general, most of the characters in this game just look really good. I don't think there's a character that looks like shit. Unfortunately, they should have given them the same amount of love to like just giving them characters more complex and more fun character designs. Because I feel like many characters in this game are just either too basic or just extremely poorly designed. I feel like there are many characters in this way. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But regardless, actually, not many characters are poorly designed, but just extremely basic. That is for sure. I would love more characters that are complex, like Giras, like Kenshi, characters like this. These are the most fun characters, man. They are. Next up, we have Takeda. I'm just gonna expect it's gonna be here for me. I never enjoyed fighting him in MKX because of just the ridiculous amount of range he had. I'm expecting he's gonna have the same shit with this one, like the insane range, but I just hope he's not a zoner and a turtle in God, just like Ashra. So yeah, I don't want him to be a turtle in God. The character just runs away and fishes for insanely busted normals with a ton of range, but I do expect he'll be that. So let's put him in FU tier, just as a prediction. But yeah, I do feel like he could be some pretty fun to use actually. So yeah, hopefully he is. Hopefully they just do them all justice and all of them go into the love tier. Actually, all of them go into a separate tier, into a tier I will add later. Next up we have Goro, the prince himself, the goat. I mean, how can you hate Goro? Let's be for real. You can't hate this cameo. You can't hate Goro. It's Goro. I mean, what kind of monster hates Goro? You can't. Actually, it's not good. It will do another. It will add another line. No, no, no. I'm putting him in neutral only because of that. Actually, I don't really like him. I just put him in neutral. Goro, I dislike how his punch hook, which is probably the most iconic move this character has, other than possibly the stomp. It's just complete dog shit in this game. Like it has no use whatsoever. I do like the cameo, but I don't really like how the punch hook is shit. So yeah, that just enough to put them out of the love and tier and just make it more convenient for me because I need the space. Next up we have Motaro. I'll put him here because I really hate how his moves take too much meter, man. The triple laser nonsense should have taken half a gauge. It should have taken half a gauge for sure. If Cyrax sauce take half a gauge, this should take half a gauge, no question about it. It's a bitch to set up, man. It shouldn't take your entire cameo gauge. The reflect should have been walking forward the entire screen for half a gauge. It should have been taking your entire gauge. It's ridiculous. The low lasers should have been a pop-up in my opinion, and the teleport should be faster. So he could use some buffs, but I really do like him. Many thanks to the Fatal Blow stuff, man. When I'm using him with General Shao, he is always coming in clutch because General Shao's Fatal is the worst thing of all time, the worst trash dog shit Fatal Blow in the game. So Motaro comes in clutch all the time. I need to do a Fatal Blow tier list as well. I need to do a lot of tier lists. This game has a lot of tier lists I want to make. Next up we have Kenshi. Yeah, he's neutral for me. Actually, it adds another row regardless. Actually, honestly, man, I put Kenshi in 11th tier. I know most of you will disagree and say Kenshi is toxic to deal with because he's completely busted, which I will agree he is completely busted, but I don't think he is toxic to fight against, to be honest. He is extremely good character. Very, 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 very powerful, but I don't think he's busted. I don't think he's toxic, not busted. So he's definitely busted. So yeah, moving on. He's in 11th tier. Sonya, neutral. I don't really have issues with her. I mean, she's just neutral for me. Oh, god damn it again. I need to make it a larger region of the screen. I don't know how to change it. Regardless, next up we have Scorpion. Scorpion cameo. I kinda hate him to be honest. Actually, I really hate him to be honest. Because of how good he is in Melina. Nah, I'll just put him in FU tier. He's not good enough to warrant me putting him in FU in die tier. Darius, as much as I hate Reiko, I gotta say I love this cameo. I just feel like he's the most unique cameo in the entire game other than the GOAT, who is going to be ranked last because of how fitting it is for him. But Darius is just extremely cool. Fighting along with a playable character is just one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a fighting game. I just love it. So yeah, Darius goes in the 11th tier. Baraka, fuck you. I don't really think it needs much explanation. Pretty boring to use. Extremely busted beyond any human comprehension levels of busted. Absolutely unfair. Ridiculously annoying to deal with. Busted beyond belief. Just toxic to fight against just because of how good he is. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for this character. Raiden, the top of FUT. I don't think he's Baraka level of toxic. He is extremely toxic because of just how much damage he does for no apparent reason, but I couldn't say I just hate this character altogether. I like his voice lines. Like the I when he activates his fatal blow, I love it. If I see some pluses, I will put this character in a different tier for sure. Reptile, how can you hate Reptile? Let's be for real, it's Reptile. Actually, Goro is the same thing. I can't hate Goro. It's Goro. How can you hate Goro? It's not possible. So yeah, Goro goes in the 11th tier as well. I love Goro. You can't hate Goro. It's Goro. I mean, who hates Goro? What kind of Mortal Kombat fan hates Goro? And finally, we have come to my favorite thing in this entire game, which is this man. This man right here, this legend, this god, this immense, powerful being. He is so good and so much fucking fun. He definitely deserves to be 2 tiers. Actually, no, I don't have the space. Oh, fuck. Son of a bit. Can I return it? Rewind this shit? Oh, god damn it. Let me just put it back. Lab M. As Darius, I can be a slave. Let's see. Put you here, put you here, here. And finally, we have arrived at the most powerful of them all, the best tier in the entire game. My personal favorite inclusion possibly in the history of Mortal Kombat games, Shujinko. I can go on for years just discussing how much I love this cameo. He is, in my opinion, what all cameos should have been. All cameos should have been playing like this cameo is. And there are many reasons for that. Shujinko is pretty much viable for everybody. You can use him with any other character. I mean, if the character is too trash to not is so trash they can't be run with any other cameo, like if a character is locked behind using a certain cameo just because they are not good enough by themselves, that's their own issue. That's a skill issue for the character. I mean, let's be real. But Shujinko, you can run him with any character. Actually, I love him so much that I'm pretty much just doing random selects for my playable characters. Who am I gonna run with Shujinko? I just love him that much, man. He's so much fun. He has the ability to combo into his special moves that he steals by himself, like doing a punch into Giras's time freeze, into charging him again in the same combo into another punch into Giras's time freeze. It's so much fun. It's so free. Just the way just you can adapt a completely different playstyle based on your matchups. It's just so much fun. And using him and Shang Tsung together is probably the most fun thing you can do in this game. Most likely. I can't even describe how much I love him, man. He's almost, and I specify almost, he's almost fun enough to make up for the absolute clusterfuck that is Ashra and Reiko. Almost. I do feel like the toxicity of these two overpowers even the holiness of Shujinko, but I can't even, I have no bad words to say about this cameo. I do feel it's actually pretty goddamn good. It's a good cameo, it's not even bad. It's not the worst cameo in the game, no fucking way. It's actually pretty good. It's better than the likes of Kano, than the likes of like Sonya. I put him above Motaro as well. Like, he is actually a pretty good cameo, and he is probably just the most fun of all time. So let's just call this tier God. I mean, he deserves it. He is God. He is a legend. My favorite cameo in the game, my favorite character in general in this entire game, including the playable ones. They cooked with him, and he should have been the standard for characters. Unfortunately, it feels like the standard for characters are more like Scorpion, just making them more basic. Like most characters are just more basic in this game. Unfortunately, most characters aren't very complex, to be honest. Like most characters, like you can just go into training mode and figure out most of the stuff, pretty much everything they're doing in like 5 to 10 minutes. There aren't many characters that just require elaborate labbing. Like the only ones I can think of at the top of my head are Johnny, Rain, Giras, Kenshi. Who else? I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. Like the complex characters, that's pretty much it. Ashra, you can figure out in 30 seconds. It's- yeah, so I love him, man. He just makes the game fun. You can use someone like Ashra and you find the game fun just because Shujinko is your cameo. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna have this one up here. I truly do wish everybody was in this tier. Everybody was as good and as fun as Shujinko. If they were, this game would have been just legendary, just because of how fun it would have been, man. There is no way, no fucking way, any of the cameos that are coming as DLC are more fun than Shujinko. Just no way. I refuse to accept it because Shujinko is just as fun as it can get, man. It really is. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Hopefully you agree with me. If you don't agree, it's okay. It is my tier list after all, and this tier list is pretty much as opinions based as it gets. Like this video idea, though I will say it's pretty much objective fact. Like most of the things I've said here, you can't even argue. Like with Ashra being toxic as shit, and so is Reiko. If you disagree, you are wrong. Let's be real. So yeah, guys, I just gonna wrap this one up here. I truly do love Shujinko, man. He's just the goat. Striker might even go here as well, but just because of how good he is with Melina, was a piece of shit, I'm gonna put him here. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Thank you very much for watching. There will be more tier lists for sure. I have a few ideas, so I'll see you in the next one.